Okay, let's just delete that.
Yeah, delete. We had a couple of trial runs getting these microphones set up.
Yeah. Ooh, got both of them flashing. Let's bring this all the way back.
And we're about to start recording.
First podcast in 3, 2, 1. What's going on, Joey?
Just, doing the thing, helping you out on your first, or JD's first trial run for the Part of the Culture, the podcast. And this is episode 1.
Yeah, so what's come to mind first and foremost for me is what started this. Hey, what's up, everybody? I got a couple people on mine. You got anybody on yours? How many people you got on yours, Joey?
More than you.
Whatever. So we're going live for you guys that are just listening. This is my first podcast ever. What I want to talk about is what started all of this. And what's going down, Mario? What started all this was...
Houseway.
I've always sold clothes, and so I wanted to transfer into another business that was complementary to my clothes sales. So what business I started was information on how I started my business and how I'm able to succeed and how I'm able to do everything that I'm doing. And I took courses, and it just kind of naturally happened because I listened to like Grant Cardone, who's a sales expert. Look him up. I listened to Eric Thomas, who's like a motivational speaker, but he has practical business advice. He just believes if you wake up earlier than the next man, you grind harder than the next man, you'll have better results than the next man. And so they all have podcasts. They all have video teams. They all have these things. And so I just wanted to do it. And the thing that really, I've asked to be on people's podcasts, and I've reached out to people, and I just really didn't hear anything back. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to start my own podcast. And that's what you're seeing right now. And so Joey here, because I want him to get some words in. He's worked with me, but he's cool. He's, me and him are complete and polar opposites. I'll be the first to say. But we get shit done. And one thing I like about Joey is he shows up on time and he gets stuff done. So introducing Joey, you can say introduction on what you think about business, on anything. What do you got to say, Joey?
What's up, everyone? This is Joe. Me and JD been grinding together for a few years now, working on a few different things, whether it was bartending or doing the t-shirt stuff or any other way. We're just finding ways to make money, and we are making money. And this is just another outlet for us to, express ourselves, do our things, let people know what else we got going on besides just the clothes and the nightlife and whatever else we got going on. We do a whole bunch of stuff, and this is just one way.
We do whatever it takes.
That's really what it is. It's what it is.
So, I think I always want to add value. The one thing that I do want this podcast to do is to add value. So what I want to talk about is how to put more money in your pocket. And the first thing, and I talk a lot about adding value, and so maybe what Joe can do and what you can do to kind of chime in is just ask me any questions that you've ever had when I say that to you. What does it mean to add value? Just ask me anything kind of, I really want to do something that adds value or helps you make more money. Just so you can just ask away, or I could ask you questions, but we're still finding the format, people. We're just still trying to add value. But go ahead, Joey.
So how is this podcast going to add value to everything that you're doing right now?
The way that this podcast is going to add value is because the first thing that comes to mind is going to add value in so many different ways. But if you look at, Instagram, for instance, everything is about the selfie. You see girls, all they do is take pictures of themselves. Everything is like myself. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to take my hustle and take it to the streets and take it to where if you notice, I didn't buy one microphone. I didn't buy one stand. I didn't buy one camera. If you guys can't see, but Joey also has I bought 2 of everything. So now what it does is instead of me being at home watching Netflix, I'm here connecting with someone. Joey has 250 people in his network. Now people he is going live, so now I'm able to add value to his people, and I'm able to add value to my people. So it's gonna be able. It's a way for me personally I call it a healthy habit, to where instead of us just blowing a blunt, which ain't nothing wrong with that if that's what you do, or just doing like negative, like go to the bar. People always have these things, or just watch a movie,
or playing fucking video games.
Playing video games. Life is a game. This is just another form of a game. This is no better, no different than all of those. But this, I feel like, is a healthy habit, a good way to bring people together. It's a good way to give out information. It's a great way to put people's, like, I can ask Joey, what skills do you have? What are you good at? And it puts your talents on a pedestal, and anyone listening can now, once the podcast is on iTunes, you can do show notes, you can have it on your website. Anyone listening can now connect with Joe. Anyone listening on Joe's thing can now figure out, like, oh, you guys make shirts? Oh, you guys bartend? What club? Avery Lounge. My business name is Part of the Culture. I wrote a book. You can get it at partoftheculture.com. You know what I'm saying? So now it's a way for us to broadcast all of our talents and just get the word out there. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I just, just adding value. One way to help you get to where you are in life is help other people get to where they need to be. The reason why Joey is sitting here, whether he knows it or not, is because he helped me with a clothing project. He would come over, it would be freaking, it was summertime and we live in Cali, and how hot would it be? Bro, outside, it would be 70, 80 degrees outside, and it might have a heater that's 400 degrees, and Joe would sit there and make shirts. He would get frustrated, but he would still push through, and he would help me ship out. He would, Ranveer said you need to get in the gym, Joe. You know what I mean? And there's gonna be some roasting going on the show. I see.
Get started already. Okay.
But
shout out to San Jose Barbell.
Shout out to San Jose Barbell. Ranveer was the first person I ever did a podcast with. His setup was not as nice as mine, but we focus on the wins here. And he was the first person I ever did a podcast with. He will never be on my show though.
Focus on the wins, maybe. He's
I'm just playing. Ranveer he can do whatever. He can come on whenever he wants. Ranveer is my dude. Go to San Jose Barbell. He changed my life. All of this positivity be sort of me just grinding it out and listening. All of this positivity came from my dude Ranveer. He told me, it's so deep, I don't even have to say it. Joe, what did Ranveer teach us? What is his sayings?
Gains. It's all about the gains.
Putting in the reps. Mm-hmm. Focus on the wins.
Focus on the wins, always.
And so, Joe, I'm not even going to say it. Joe be a jerk. Ever since he met Ranveer, I said it. Ever since I seen him make a change. Yes, he'll never fully lose that, which I don't want him to. Good cop, bad cop, bad cop. But these principles not only helped me, I'm really still shouting out Ranveer. They helped out Joe. Would you agree, or am I just speaking out of my ass?
No, I agree. I picked up on a lot of it, and I totally noticed the difference, between me and you, but in a good way. And it's good to have that balance, between the two of us. Some days, I want to choke you, and I know you feel the same way, but we keep each other in check. We keep each other in line. And at the end of the day, we're both trying to win. We both got the same goal, and we may have different approaches on how to reach that goal. But, at the end of the day, we reach that goal, and that's what it's all about.
I agree 1,000%. Me and Joe, I'm telling you, we're polar opposites. But with that, even tonight, like Joe has a very strong personality, and it took me a while to get used to it, to be honest. And I'm way lax. Like, I'm the most lax. I think I'm lax. I'm just sometimes too relaxed. But I respect Joe because Joe is the first cat there. I've gone at the only person that my boss trusts. I work at a nightclub called Avery Lounge. I am the bar manager. The owner of the spot is just. He's very picky and very particular, but he's a genius. He pours into us, and he's been able to create $1 million business that's only open 3 days in this economy, in this, in this downtown thing. But with
that's
that,
open for goddamn 12 hours out of the whole week.
it makes $1 million. He makes $1 million a year with 12 hours a week. So, just that's the type of guy he is. He pushes us and he pushes us. I've known him for 2 years. He's never taken the foot off the brake. He'll crack jokes, but he goes hard.
Oh, you've known him longer than that. You mean you've worked with him?
I've worked with him personally.
Yeah.
I've worked with him. I've done parties with him. So me and him connected on the party tip. But then, working for him. But long story short, the only other person that he trusts to be behind that bar is Joe. If I'm not there, Joe has to be there. If me or Joe aren't there, it's a problem. Like there's not even an equation without me and Joe. And not saying like we stay humble. It's not like we know that we're replaceable and we work like we're replaceable. But Joe leads from the front. I try to lead from the front. Even if I don't understand Joe's methods, if I see a major problem, I'll say something. But I really respect what the guy does. I really respect that. You know what I mean? Like me, I'll give away a free Red Bull. Joe ain't giving away no free Red Bulls. But sometimes
it's not free to begin with. So that's what I'm saying. You're giving away a Red Bull. It's not a free Red Bull. So that's always my mindset. Like none of this shit's free. Everything costs money. And you can give away a little or you can give away a lot. And it's just, I try to give away a little. I try to keep it at that. It's the nature of the business. It's always going to happen. But, other people need to respect it as well. You work anywhere. You think they're just giving away Big Macs to employees at McDonald's?
You know that somebody's getting a free Big Mac. But for purposes of what you're saying, no. People, when you go to McDonald's, the Big Mac is not free. But like I'm saying, I'll give away a free Red Bull. But because of Joe, I be charging for Red Bulls because I had to see it. And the cool thing is like sometimes I don't understand the way or I'll get frustrated. Be like, why don't we just hook him up? But then I understand like, nah, like he's right. He's right. I'm wrong. But there's times where I'm right. He's wrong. But we don't have to talk about that right now. But he's a good dude, But yeah, just adding value. The reason why I'll just even give you the story. How he helped me, he sat in a hot-ass room and helped me ship packages all over the world. We used to have a customer, shout out to 1340, we used to print all this stuff, just look him up. His name's Justin Escalana. And Joe physically printed out every single week. He would ship at minimum 400 shirts a month. That's 400 shipping labels. That's packing and shipping 400 items. That's printing 400 items. And Joe would do those. And when I got the opportunity 2 years ago at Avery, it was natural that, hey, let me hook him up. And we don't even work with the 1340 guy anymore just because the price thing didn't work, not important. But I was able to give Joe a position and it actually helped me out, but he's been able to use that position ever since. And so, I just, I'm very thankful. I know that I can say this. I've texted him many times randomly. Me and him don't even get down like this, but I'll just randomly text Joe. Rambier is roasting me right now. Oh, yeah. Me and Rambier, so I randomly text Joe, thank you. So that's another lesson, but I'm going to roast people. What do you have to say about what's something that you have learned in life that if you could tell our listeners one thing, what's one thing that you would give them if it was your dying words, Joe? I kind of want to hear this myself.
Wow. Well, that is a loaded question. What would I want to tell people? Like when I'm dying? That's kind of weird.
What's your not when you're dying? I'm just saying, what's one principle that you really live by that kind of separates you and keeps you? There's something called. I'll give you some more game. There's something called the thermostat in life, and so certain people like if they've ever like they always are dusty, or there's those guys that like you look at like Mauricio. He's always fresh. He always has, his hair is always nice. He always has on that fake silver bracelet. You know what I mean? But you know what I mean? Like, he always has a certain presence. And so that's...
Yeah, I think appearance is always, important. And I remember I've told you that plenty of times. Even when I would come to the trap and do T-shirts, I would always tell you got to look somewhat presentable no matter where you go. You never know. I'm going to run into someone literally walking around the corner of my house. So I'm going to run into someone. And I want to be somewhat presentable because, hey, it could be some money. It could be a job opportunity. I just hate when people just look sloppy and, walking out of the house with their dirty sweats and their Dolphin 12s or whatever,
Bro, so I'm going to show you guys something. Everyone hates on these. We call these the Dolphin 12s right here, okay, folks? For those of you guys that are listening, you can't see them, but these are the Dolphin 12.
Here, you
feel me?
Or if you're handling
you want to show your viewers
the Dolphin 12?
The Dolph 12. And so me, I'll tell you another benefit, even if he's not listening, of San Jose Barbell. It's not even Ram Beer. And this is gonna be a gross story, but it's true. They had to tell me, like, bro, you need to step your game up. They were like, bro, you stink. You need to take a shower every day. Because I would wake up. I was a coach at San Jose Barbell. Part of this journey comes from them. San Jose Barbell had a huge influence on my life. I'm not sponsored by them. I don't get paid by them. I actually used to volunteer there. I got a few checks. I just wanted to volunteer. But they had to tell me, like, bro, when you wake up in the morning, because I take showers every day, but I just be randomly taking them. They're like, hey, you know, Al Dark Horse?
Alvaro? Yeah.
He's saying what's up. He said, hi, Joe.
Yeah.
What's going down? Joe says hi. But they told me I stink. And so little things, but by putting myself out there, but I had to, I'm so glad. They were like, and I take showers more often now. I just do, right when I wake up. I used to just wait till I smelled myself. You feel? I've actually tried to work on my appearance and keep everything tight. But
was it cleanliness is next to godliness?
Yes, cleanliness is next to godliness. That's deep. So
Yeah.
Cleanliness, that's a great one.
I don't believe in God. So
this is our first episode, so we'll probably be on for another 10 minutes. Ask any questions. Did I smell Alvaro saying that I was stinky? Hey,
I mean, you look stinky.
You look stinky, but you also look extremely clean. Like, this dude is one of the flyest, excuse my language, white boys I've ever seen. I've never been jealous of a white guy, but I'm a little bit jealous of this dude. He doesn't even walk. He just glides into the room, Have you always been so fresh, Alvaro? But yeah, so he owns a construction company. He actually has used my shirt services. And I like a customer like that because all my orders for him have not come out 100% perfect. But he still messed with me for years, honestly. And I'm such a little guy, and he's seen me grow. And so I've always tried to hook him up. And the products have gotten better and better over the years. And we've done hats. And even our first hat run didn't come out right, but he gave me an opportunity to fix it. And the second round came out super dope. So a lot of people don't really respect that. Like, so many people, even everybody, like, even the way to success, if you want to build a relationship with someone, go through the good times with them and go through the bad times with them. What do you think about that, Joe?
Oh, I think it builds character, because there were days where, we were in between jobs, in between checks and stuff like that, and we got to grind, a little or grind a lot. And like I said, there were weeks where, say someone was late paying you, so then you in turn couldn't pay me and stuff like that. But
I always pay Joe on time.
You always
just for the record, I always pay Joe on time. He hasn't paid taxes if the government's listening.
Not
a dime. Not a dime.
You're stupid. But struggling does build character. I think it does add value to your life. Obviously, we don't want to do that shit forever. We're both doing well right now, but we know we can do so much more. We can be doing so much better. And it's just, putting in the work, putting in the time. There's a lot of people who do not put in the work and put in the time like JD and I do. And JD is one of the hardest working Jamaicans I know, and he ain't even Jamaican.
Hustles,
but he hustles. What are you, Panamanian?
Yeah, Panamanian. My mom was born in Panama. How much more can you do? So Rambier asked me a question. How much more can I do? More. That's the answer. I'm gonna kind of be wrapping it up, and I'm gonna say this last story. It's been on my mind for a while. And it's a solution. It's very deep solution. So people talk about, hard work and hard grind and, in business you're solving problems. When do the problems stop? And I have an answer for that. I listened to it somewhere, but it's very valuable. So in business, for example, we'll just take my business. I have, customers come with me. They want me to solve their problems. And it's like, okay, how long is this going to go on? How long am I going to solve problems for people? How long am I going to have to do mock-ups? How long am I going to have to go to the shirt press? How long am I going to have to pick up shirts, drop off shirts, pick up hats, drop off hats? How many podcasts am I going to have to do? The question is, you set a goal. My goal may be $1 million, okay? And so you solve those problems until you get to $1 million. That is how you know when to stop. So if your goal, it's the same for anything you do. If you are going to the gym and you want to lose 15 pounds, you solve the problem. How do I have to wake up? So you learn how to wake up early. You learn how to get in the gym. Then it's like, okay, I'm going to the gym, but I don't have the proper clothes. Solve that problem. Go get the proper clothes. And you want to know, like, damn, when is this going to stop? It stops when you hit your goal. Once you fall off track, then it begins again. So that's how you know it doesn't last forever. People are like, oh, grind forever, grind forever. No, you grind to your goal. And that's just a great way. We do it a lot of times. Like, I went and got this podcast. How hard do I have to go? I have to go hard enough to where this podcast can work. Once this podcast works, I get to sit back and just record and enjoy the process. But that is something that I wanted to share because, people are like, oh, I have to go hard. But there is an end to going hard unless your goals get bigger. Then you continue, but make it specific so you know where you're going. Once you get there, relax, enjoy the victory. And celebrate every day and celebrate every win. But that's how you know. You go hard until you reach the goal. I hope that makes sense. That makes sense, Joe?
Yeah, we got it. I won't have to go back and listen to it again, but most of it made sense.
Any last words before we shut this thing down?
No, I'm glad, we just, right place, right time. We happened to have a staff meeting at Avery, and then you mentioned that you wanted to play with your new podcast equipment. So, hey, I was like, hey, let's go to the office. I'm fortunate enough to have a good boss, my partner, my boy Mauricio Mejia. Shout out to Mauricio.
Yep. And that fake silver chain you've been wearing for 17 years. Shout out to that chain.
So, shout out to Mauricio,
he's a good dude though, all jokes aside.
I have a day job with him, but then we also have a great office space that he allows me to use, allows me to share with my friends, and we can come in here late night and, do this thing. And I think this is a fun opportunity, something that we've been wanting to do for a while. And, JD just gave us that push. He's taking it to the next level. So we want to take it to that next level with him.
Yeah, man. I promise you, everybody who's ever supported me, I don't ever talk about that. The reason I support Joe, I don't give a fuck about his attitude. I have his back more than I have a lot of motherfuckers' back, is because he supported me. When I had a dream, that fool came over on a whim. If you've seen my setup up close and personal, and we made it work, and I'm going to, short of this fool punching me in my face or something, we're going to be cool. And so, my final thing is I do have a book. It's called 10 Steps to Level Up. I'm going to put Joe, someone asked for your Instagram. What is it?
So at Joe Murguia. And
I'm going to type it because nobody knows how the hell to spell at Joe Murguia. Is there a G? A silent A in there. I'm actually going to just hand you this whole setup and you put that in there.
Oh, you want me to type it in there?
Yeah, type that in. Type that at Joe Murguia. If someone, before he types it, someone guess how to spell it. If you spell it right, I will email you a book. All right? Because Joe Murguia, there's some silence in there. But,
oh, wait, I spelled my own name wrong.
Yeah, because you don't even know how to spell it.
Well, I don't use iPhone. Your shit's stupid.
So my Instagram is part of the culture, just part of the culture. All right.
He spelled it wrong.
He can't even type his own name. He's trying to send one of the the Instagram live people his name, and he spelled it wrong because that's how it is.
Nah, because I don't use iPhone. I don't use iPhone. I'm anti-iPhone. It's all about the Droid life over here.
So you spelled your name wrong because it was on an iPhone.
Yes, sir.
That doesn't even sound like a good excuse.
No, well, because on the Droid, we have something on our keyboard that's called a swipe. So I just, swipe my finger around.
Okay.
Without even having to lift it up, and it's just swiping around.
There's Joe's.
There we go.
Joe's Instagram. But yeah, go check out my book. I have an event coming up. I'm gonna actually try to get Joe to help me out. But I have an event coming up.
If the money's right,
February 3rd. Joe works for peanuts, literally. He loves peanuts. If you guys want to.
And pecans. I like pecans too.
Yes, pecans, not the pie.
All
nuts.
that.
He likes all the nuts.
Pistachios.
But
nuts.
yeah, we're gonna end it there. Thank you guys for checking us out. First episode ever. First of everything I do, I just make it a goal to make $1 million. Not $1 million, but I want to make 1 million episodes. If $1 million comes from that, beautiful. But I just feel like it helps your communication, and but one of 1 million. So thank you, Joe, for being on here.
Thank you for having me. Part of the
Appreciate
Culture
that.
Podcast, episode 1.
I'm gonna try to get this on iTunes. I'll keep everybody posted. Thank you guys. We are out. Let me get up out of here.
And oh, there you go.
Where's the end button?
Oh, well, mine has an end button on the top. Were you on Facebook?
Oh, I
or
see it.
Instagram?
Yeah, no, I'm on Instagram.
Oh, I'm on Instagram.
Peace.